All right. I believe Arch Clemson Sports Network. Welcome to our weekly podcast. We got several things we want to talk about. Such a time as this, we got a lot going on. We got, of course, the spring game coming up. For all you people that miss football and go through football withdrawals, we got baseball. Baseball season's turned out pretty good. And we got basketball, and we're getting into March Madness, which is, the most exciting time of the year for basketball. And so coming off a win last night. But let me just, before we get into the program, let me mention a couple new sponsors. That's the bread that pays the bills. It makes this possible. I want to welcome Rainbow Moore, Reliable Realty. She covers all the upstate. You can find her on our website. We're doing a lot of social media management for her. Reliable Rainbow Moore. Can't miss the name at the end of the rainbow. You can find your home. We had Michael Dent for Allstate. He is right on the main drag, and Powderville is actually listed in Piedmont. But if coming in off 85, 153, he's right there in the corner, right behind the McDonald's, right there. So without any further ado, my partner here, Rowdy Tiger, is Rob Clark, goes by Rowdy Tiger. Welcome. Let's talk a little Clemson sports.
Good to be on tonight. And looks like Clemson's on top of Kansas State in baseball right now, 5-2, bottom of the sixth. Looks like they're doing pretty well tonight. So ranked number 10th in the nation. So gotta love that for Clemson baseball.
Yeah, and we just came off a sweep, basically. Well, we won the series. The first game got rained out.
Yeah.
We beat the old state rivalry, the Carolina Gamecocks there.
Always nice to beat the Gamecocks in any sport.
Always nice to beat them. I think we've done pretty good at that this year.
Yep. I think there's we got them in basketball, baseball now, soccer. Beat them at the end of the season last year in football, so you got to love that.
You got to love that. They're kind of quiet, but they still like to run their mouths. So you got some. So last night, let's talk about last night. Because right now we're getting to the end of the season. I remember back in November, we were doing Anderson Ford, right when the basketball was right in the middle of November, beginning of November. And I think we were like 10-0 or something, or 9-0. And I was telling Mike, the guy that does the show with me, I said, this looks like one of the most talented Clemson teams we've had in a while. This seems something different about it. And of course, Clemson's done that a lot. They start out like 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, and then the ACC hits, and then there's that little lull or whatever. And we kind of went through that this year. But we've kind of redeemed ourselves. We've had the Notre Dame game is kind of a slip game. But right now we're currently sitting at number 4 seed in the ACC tournament, which is starting a week from today. And we had a good win against Syracuse last night. The team looked pretty solid. Beat them 90-75. So it wasn't that close at the end. PJ Hall, I think he had 21 points.
And nice. That's really good.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. We're gonna miss him. Right there for Spartanburg. 25 points, 7 rebounds. Shefflin had 16 points. As far as all-around player last night, Shefflin had 16 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. A lot of people don't know that. He could have either gone wide receiver or basketball, and Dabo was actually at the game last night. Dabo talks about how you wanted him on the football team. And then you got Gerard, I can't pronounce his name right. He had 21 points. The guy just kind of like, now he's from Syracuse. He transferred to Syracuse. He'd be like, he'll get the ball and not even really look at it. When he hits some 3-pointers and he's hot, he was hot. He was pretty hot last night. He had points. So
a lot of guys on the team, man, when they get hot, they're hot, and the team plays well.
Yeah. We've had some games that could have gone either way, and we've all talked about the Duke game, and I don't like to make excuses or anything, but I did know ESPN mentioned it, and I was listening to the Roar the next day, and they all talked about officiating. So that game could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Call here or call there. So I think talent-wise, Clemson's up there with anybody. We beat North Carolina. I think it comes down to mentally, mindset, and coaching.
And it seems like we've had struggles with referees all season. So several games. I think referees kind of decided the game, if you will.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way.
Right,
it shouldn't be that way.
You got one obviously job to do, a lot of people are still upset over the Duke game with the referees. I saw a little bit in the North Carolina State game that I thought referees kind of interfered and cost us that win a little bit. But at the same time, the team had to do what they had to do to stay up, and needed to play a better defense and needed to play a little bit more offensive. Can't let the referees decide it for you.
Yeah. So after Saturday, it's like the slate's clean. It's ACC tournament, then on to the big dance, and so that's what makes it exciting.
It's right now 4th seed for Clemson in the ACC tournament, right?
Yeah, we're 4th seed.
Yeah,
4th seed, which is good. That means we'll have a bye. We don't have to play. I think we'll have a bye. I don't have to play the first 2 rounds. We kind of sit back and wait on the other teams. Yeah, that always helps out. That way you're rested.
I think they have the potential to win the ACC tournament if they get their heads right, and play.
Yeah, that would
their
be
full
nice.
Potential.
Then, yeah, and
we don't have to win they can do it. For sure,
it'd be nice to go to the Final Four, but just win the ACC tournament. Let's take it from there.
Yeah,
and I think we beat about every team we could, in the ACC we need to beat, and technically you say we beat Duke, so we're gonna have to get past North Carolina and Duke. There's some good teams in there. Syracuse isn't a bad team. And we handled them pretty good last night.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about March Madness. Everything just kind of goes on warp speed. You got the ACC tournament, and then they're picking like right after the SEC ACC tournament. The pick comes in for the 64 teams. And nobody wants to be in the NIT. I'm just saying, we went in NIT last year as number 1 seed and lost. And a lot of people don't know this. I remember, NIT, it seems like ends up on the West Coast. And I remember 2007 at 1 o'clock in the morning. It started like 10:30 at night. Clemson actually won the NIT, but then again, you're 65th in the nation, which doesn't get too many people excited. So the big dance is where we want to be. We want to win the ACC tournament, at least go to the finals. Let's do something in basketball, and let's make basketball great again at Clemson.
Yeah. Well, it looks like basketball fell to Boston College, unfortunately, 85-72.
They did what now?
The women's basketball lost to Boston College 85-72. That was the women's basketball first round of the Alley ACC tournament.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they started this week. The women's did.
Yeah,
and I've got an aunt and uncle that went to Carolina. He's a judge now, but they're big Carolina fans. They're big on that. Carolina's women's basketball team. You gotta give it to them. They probably got the best women's basketball team there is.
So looks like Clemson plays Wake Forest Saturday at 6 o'clock this Saturday. So hopefully they can pull out the win there, finish the season strong, because I believe that's the last game of the season. So
yeah, it is.
So that'll be nice to see.
It is. And we're playing away. I'm pretty sure we're playing away, I believe. At Wake Forest. And we've actually played good away.
Playing at Wake Forest.
Yeah, somewhat better. Yeah. So, and then it's on the ACC tournament, and then it gets all interesting, and it's just fun to watch. One of my favorite times of this part of the year. So anybody, we're looking for a sponsor for the spring game, and so we've been around a couple places. We're going to set up live. It's a free game. A bunch of I Bleed. It's a 1 o'clock game. It's April 6th. I Bleed Orange is going to be there early. We're going to be there strong. We're going to bring our people in. We're looking somewhere to set up a show, and we're looking for somewhere on College Avenue. Anybody wants to reach out and get in touch with me and let us market for them and do a little bit of marketing and draw some people to their business and do a live show. And we hadn't decided we're going to do it afterwards. I don't know. If it's a 1 o'clock game, you're going to do that show a little bit early. And but we're going to get down to Clemson and start tailgating or whatever, probably meet down at the SO Club or something like we did last year. And it's always a good time. No pressure. It's free. Get there early, get a 50-yard line seat, and you just kind of want to see your boys play.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You guys play, and
based on the things that I've been reading and seeing is the freshmen are continuing to impress. So
that's what we want.
And it's the
looks
two.
like
It's two of the
up a little.
freshman wide receivers that I'm the most interested in seeing because I want to know if we can get a down the field threat now. So
we had two 5-star recruits come in. One come in from Texas as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then we got the offensive line coach. And I had a conversation with somebody about 2 hours ago. A lot of people don't realize that, the game is won on the front lines. And that's kind of where we were hurting last year on the offensive line. You can have a really good quarterback. See, a lot of people don't see the fact they see the 70-yard touchdown throw, they see the 55-yard run touchdown, but they forget to see a lot of times what I'm trying to say is the offensive line doesn't get the credit of making the holes and making the blocks to actually make that possible. It's always the quarterback and
this new head coach is that's what I'm so excited about is this new head coach really making a difference in the offensive line. And so far, from what I understand, there's been tremendous progress already just in the time that he's been there. So that's where I think this year could be the year that Cade Klubnik finally gets to show his true talents of passing the ball, getting it down the field, being able to make those reads, and moving the ball.
I saw a picture. I saw a picture online of Cade today, and I'm not talking fat. I'm talking. He's put on some weight. It looks like he's been in the weight room a little bit.
I did read an article that Dabo Sweeney wanted Cade Klubnik to get a little bit more weight on him. So
you can tell.
Yeah, so
I think he needed
I think that was just mainly because they want to utilize him a lot more in the run game. And, so they need him to have a little bit more weight on him so he can, take those hits a little bit better and not have to worry about injuries later in the season.
It didn't look like – I didn't see fat. I just saw, the biceps looked bigger. He just looked like he was more muscular. Like he put on some good weight. There's good weight and there's bad weight. So, so what score the baseball game? What inning is it in?
It is 5-2 still, top of the 7th inning. So they're coming to a close here shortly. A couple more innings. But, baseball, we start out strong almost every year, and then we seem to hit a little rough patch.
Sounds like basketball.
And then they want to go and play strong at the end. And, but this year I think we've got a pretty good team. I think we're going to see some depth out of them this year in the later playoff rounds. So. And I can't talk about softball more than anything right now because, they are just on fire. They are killing it.
And it's so fun to, sometimes you go to the baseball game and they'll be playing the softball fields right behind. I've actually gone and watched the baseball game over at Clemson and spent the other half, watching the women's softball. It's just fun to watch.
I love watching the women's softball. It's just so exciting hearing the chants come from the dugouts. I love the little slap bunts that they do.
It's the ball goes faster. They throw it faster. But actually, it seems like softball's a faster game. The field's smaller. I think where they pitch from the mound to the plate smaller, and it's quicker. Even though
they only play 7 innings as well, too. So
exactly. It just seems, and you got less space than you do on a baseball field.
I love watching women's softball. It's just, to me, I just find it exciting. I'll see it on TV, and I don't care who's playing. I'll turn it on just because, like I said, it's just so fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah. And, we made a run for it last year, but we went into, God, it was like I was at that game. We went into like 16, 17 innings with Tennessee. Yeah. And, so we'll see. We'll see. We got a long ways to go. We won't hit the playoffs until June. We're looking at about June when they start all that.
Yeah.
So basically, we got basketball to get through. We got the spring game, and I guess all eyes are really going to be on basketball right now.
Yeah.
And hope everybody stays healthy and who's going to be playing who for winning out of position, a certain position. But it looks like Cade's going to be the starter. Of course, we got Moffa.
I think the good news is if we're up big, we're going to see Vazina a lot more. I don't think Vazina will take over the starting position, but you never know. So
you never know.
you never know what's going to happen, but I'm kind of excited to see Vizina. I think, there was a lot of hype about him. He took the red shirt year. So,
He hadn't played that. He hadn't played it. He hadn't
sometimes
played a
I
lot at
think
all, really.
being a red shirt, you come out more experienced than actual game sometimes, just because you get time to study and develop and work on your mechanics, and then, obviously game experience is always going to, outweigh, but, I don't know. I find it seems like more players at redshirt end up being a lot more developed later. So,
yeah. And I want to say it's going to be Garrett Riley's second year, so hopefully he's learned a little bit from the first year. We got some receivers in, some 5-stars. We still got Tyler Brown from Greenville, and he had a pretty good year. So we just need to connect on the big plays, and I think we need to do a little razzle dazzle and mix it up a little bit more.
Well,
a lot of that predictability last year.
I was just telling somebody the other day that, I think a lot of the reason why Garrett Riley couldn't open up the playbook like everybody thought that he was going to is, if you look at it, we didn't have a down the field receiver. No one really to be able to take it down the field and separate themselves. The offensive line didn't give Cade Klubnik very much time to develop a down the field play. Then you got the run game with Maffa and Shipley. If the offensive line is not creating a holes, what can you do other than straight up middle, straight up this, short screens,
that's a lot we did.
Screens. So a lot of people were disappointed in Riley's playbook, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he didn't have the right personnel to really open up the playbook.
Yeah.
And now if it's true with these two freshmen that they have blazing speed, question is can they separate themselves from those cornerbacks and safeties and whatnot and get down the field? And will the offensive line give Cade Klubnik time to make that read and throw?
And that's key. He's got to have time. We need that standout, the Mike Williams, the T. Higgins, the it factor, the beast on the offense. Like we had Sean Wash and Trevor. The one person that stands up is the leader of the offense, the defense. We had Ben Boulware back in the day for the defense, and we had then we had the Power Rangers come on, and they just kind of stood out. They had that little extra spark, that it factor, and it was just kind of bland. And in my opinion, there's nobody that's really standing out as the alpha male. And
I just watched a highlight film of Sammy Watkins and Taj Boyd in the Orange Bowl against Ohio State, and I just watching Sammy Watkins, he created space. He just created space, and Taj Boyd just all you do is toss it to him, and Sammy did the rest.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing to watch Sammy Watkins just in that one game alone. How much he made a difference.
We're going to get all those guys on this podcast. It's coming. We've got Jerry Butler's coming on next week, and then we're hoping we're probably going to have Joe Bostic if the schedules fitting. So we're getting names. We have some good names on there.
Yeah. So I'd love to see if we can get Taj Boyd. After having his mom. His mom was amazing to talk to, by the way.
Huh? We had his mom.
Taj Boyd's mom was amazing to talk to. That was one of my truly favorite.
She really, man. She thanked me like
because it was fun talking to her.
She really enjoyed it. it. But I'm just going to have to see when he's available on a Wednesday night. He'll do it.
Yeah,
he'll do it.
That'll be awesome. I mean, he did a little wave at us.
Yeah, he came, stuck his head in. So
So I'm looking forward to the spring game. I can't wait to get there. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think
it's a good time, man. It's as long as they ain't pouring down rain or anything. The weather's always been pretty decent when I've been. And
this week and next week, rain's not looking very good right now. So hopefully, in a month, rain will be good.
Yeah, I've been the last 4 in a row, and they've all been good. Well, COVID got called off. There was that 2020 they didn't have it, but last up until then I've been to, and the weather's pretty nice, like 70 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
So it was a good time. And you get to go on afterwards and meet the players and talk to Dabo, get an autograph if you don't have one. Get a selfie with your favorite guy or whatever. So it's a fun time afterwards. They sit down there after the field, and you get to go down there and jump the fence and talk to everybody. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We're gonna let y'all know where we set up. I thought I'd have a date today, but we got to get an okay from somebody. But we're hoping to be on College Avenue. Also, follow us on our YouTube channel. We're giving away an I Bleed Orange product every week for anybody who subscribes. We do a drawing at the end of the week. So if you win, but you got to be a subscriber. So if you it's free. If you go to our YouTube channel and you subscribe to I Bleed Orange, Clemson Sports Network, and subscribe, you'll be put in the drawing. We're trying to get the numbers up there so we can free the space to allow us to have some advertising. That's going to allow us to do some more things with the YouTube channel. So
I love it.
Download all these podcasts to the YouTube channel plus the live shows. And
maybe we can get down there to one of the baseball games and do one of the live streams from the baseball game.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And maybe we go to the playoffs and they have it in Clemson. They'll have a game in Clemson or Tennessee, and then they'll come back to Clemson and Madison. We're playing. We can do something live down there during the baseball. But
I think they had the last 2 years regionals have been hosted at Clemson. So
was last year. I had to check it this year, but that'd be fun. So we're excited. We're in that part of the season where you got March Madness, and I don't know. January is kind of a weird month. All football kind of goes away, and you start looking at basketball, and then you kind of in the middle of that season, and it's getting near the end, and then you get, and then I don't know, you get kind of revived around March because I don't know. Of course, you want your team to be in March Madness, but even when they're not in there, it's just a fun thing to watch because it's like it's do or die, and you got some team like a Walford from Spartanburg that come in, and if your team's not in there or not playing you, I always pull. My team's not playing, I pull for the underdog. And I remember little old Walford, it's about 2 miles from where I live, made it to the final 16. It was a big deal. So it gives the little guys a chance to have a run for it.
Yeah. Well, there's Gardner Webb. It's like, I don't know, about 40 minutes from 50 minutes from where I'm at now. And they seem to make it into the March Madness every so often.
Where's Gardner Webb? That's in South Carolina, right?
North of Gastonia, like
Gastonia. Okay.
Yeah, going up. It's like Shelby, North Carolina area.
What is the college in Rock Hill? That's
Winthrop.
Yeah. Okay, I got this too confused for some reason, but so that's coming up.
Surprisingly, Winthrop has a good basketball team every so often, and their baseball team's not bad either.
Yeah.
They don't have a football team. It's unfortunate in the charter. There's a family that put in the charter that all of their money would completely stop being donated if they ever implemented a football team.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. So Winthrop has never had a football team, but they do have basketball. They have the baseball, stuff like that. So, and like I said, their basketball team is actually not a bad team every so often.
Yeah. So it's just fun, the brackets come out and your chances of winning you're a million times more likely to get hit by lightning, but it's just fun to play that, see how far you go. And then people like on the edge, and then some Cinderella team comes in and blows it for everybody.
Yeah.
They got some team you'll expect to upset somebody. And it starts out in the beginning, you got all these all day long, you got basketball players, games to watch that actually means something. It's just not like a regular game on TV. So we're looking forward to that. And
it's always fun to fill out the bracket too and see how well you make a bracket.
Huh?
I said it's fun to put out a bracket and see how well you make a bracket. So filling out March Madness brackets.
It's a lot easier to bet on a spread for one game. That mathematically it's hard.
Yeah.
But so that's a lot of fun. So we just want to kind of come on tonight and do a little short podcast. We'll have a guest on next week and next following week. We're just kind of in between some things and waiting on the ACC basketball. Everything goes right. Clemson's going to be number 4. Worst possible scenario, the number 6, but they should win. And I think even if they lose, they're like two teams that gotta lose or something like that for us to be the sixth seed. But that means we get to sit out the first round or two. That's always a good thing.
Yeah,
And
that way they can get a little break, a little rest, a little more practice time, get their mind straight, come in. And, I mean, in my opinion, I actually think they have the chance to win the ACC championship this year.
Oh, yeah.
If they can just play to their full potential. So
they got a chance to go to the Final Four if they wanted to. I mean, is it going to happen? Probably not. I mean, I don't want to be Pollyanna, but who knows?
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
I think they have the potential. They can do it. They've shown that. I mean, they beat North Carolina. And technically speaking, they beat Duke.
They beat Duke.
I mean, they should have had that game against Duke. Unfortunately, too many turnovers at the end. And you let the referees kind of get involved, but still, in my opinion, they beat Duke, not in the score, but they beat Duke.
They beat Duke. We all know they beat Duke. Unless you're Duke and you'll justify it, but we beat Duke.
Right.
We beat North Carolina and North Carolina. It says a lot. We haven't done that twice in our lifetime, and we've done that the last 5 years. We went forever and didn't win in North Carolina.
I really hope that they can win an ACC championship this year. I mean, this being Hall's last season, I believe. So
North Carolina's ranked 7th in the nation.
Yeah. Well, I watched Duke play. Was it Wake Forest the other night? The game that was on the other night. I was watching them Monday night. Was it Monday night or Saturday night? I can't remember now. I was watching Duke play, and I just couldn't believe that, they were struggling. They were struggling in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, are they gonna lose this game too? No, it wasn't Wake Forest. Wake Forest was before, because Wake Forest actually did beat them, because that was the night that the storming of the court deal happened. So, who was it they played the other night? And I was watching it, and I couldn't believe that they were struggling. Was it
Duke?
Oh, I remember now. It was North Carolina State. They were playing North Carolina State.
Duke's 9. I was looking at their.
Yeah, they were number 9, and they were struggling against North Carolina State.
Well, we beat North Carolina. Should have beat Duke. They're all both top 10 teams. Now, talking about Clemson basketball, I was just looking at Duke. North Carolina beat last night. Beat Notre Dame they killed them by 30 points, 84-51 or something, which doesn't make any sense because we should have beat. That's just, we got to be consistent, because it's like we played the game like last night, and then you go back to the game we played against. It's just like we didn't show up against Notre Dame, 11-win team. We went in there 20 wins to their 11. So I don't know. You got to be consistent. You got to stay in the moment. You got to stay in the game. You got to play that game. That's the most important game. Dabo said it the best. What's the most important game? The game you're in. That game. Yep. Even though you want to think ahead of the ACC tournament, the most important game is the Wake Forest game when you're in that. And then this game that you're playing.
The most important game is this Saturday. I always love that strategy too. Or that philosophy is
true.
Is not trying to think ahead, because you start thinking ahead, you forget about what's in front of you.
Yeah. And maybe when Alabama was playing the Citadel and they were losing at halftime back about 5 years ago, they were thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And then remember that?
Yeah.
And then they came out and killed them the second half. But the internet was popping up. The Citadel was beating Alabama at halftime.
Just looking at the women's softball, they play tomorrow night versus Minnesota, and it's the Tiger Invitational. And for some reason, I thought softball had a better record, but they're 13-5, playing Minnesota, who is 10-8, and that'll be tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. So let's hope these Lady Tigers can bring it home, beat Minnesota, and then I think, do they have anything after that? I think they just played the one game, so. It's called the Tiger Invitational, so we'll see.
Okay.
But they're ranked in the top 25, so that's good to see.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll win that game, and keep trucking on.
In August, Wayne Buckingham, we talked about that last week, but they're doing the orange and white thing that they do every year with the golf tournament. So I believe Orange is going to put together a golf team. So anybody that plays golf, wants to be in our team, let us know. We'll get you in, start getting a team together. So we're going to probably sponsor that event. And I guess Jenny, the rowers.
You said somebody that plays golf and wants to join the team?
Oh, I was looking around. Yeah. Well, come on down in August.
Yeah, if you got a spot open, I'll definitely join that spot.
Oh, yeah. You play a lot of golf?
Yes.
Okay. You'll be on my team.
Yeah,
I've been playing a lot in the backyard. I played one time last year, but the weather's getting – I will not play in the fall because I'm too busy with football. In the summertime, it's just too daggum hot. There's no air conditioner. But, I mean, this is my time of the year to play golf. So, but yeah. I think I'm better than I am 2 years ago simply because I'm out in the backyard, especially on the weekend. I mean, I'm not driving the ball, but I'm out there hitting putts and I'm chipping away, and I think that's helped out.
Yeah. I actually have March 14th, I have a league match, and then on the 16th, I have a tournament. And then let's see what else I got. I got a couple tournaments coming up for golf. So
yeah, speaking of golf, anything going on our golf team?
I am not really sure, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, everybody knows who Lucas Glover was.
The golf team is kind of hard to get any information on sometimes. So
yeah, they're kind of quiet, and then you got Lucas Glover comes out and he goes pro. Speaking of golf, it's the World Series of golf coming up, which is the Masters, is going to be in a couple.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Darius Rucker is having his thing right now in Hilton Head with the ladies' college golf.
Okay.
So, trying to see if I can get something to pull up. But yeah, he always does he hosts an event down there in Hilton Head. No, is it Hilton Head? Maybe it's not Hilton. It's somewhere. I want to say it's Hilton Head, but I can't remember exactly. Huh?
Kiowa Island.
No, it's not Kiowa Island. I want to say it's actually on Hilton Head. It's a course on Hilton Head.
They got a lot
every year. It's a women's college tournament that goes on down there, and it's actually a pretty good event. Now, granted, he's a huge Gamecock fan, but he does put on a pretty good college women's golf event. So
okay,
and it's usually televised. I saw it was televised the other day on the Golf Channel. So, and I usually watch it every so often when I get a chance to. So, but it's a pretty good event. I don't think I saw any Clemson players this year in there, but I could have been not covering them at the moment. So,
Hootie and Blowfish is going on tour. I just saw it come up. Darius Rucker is the voice of Hootie and Blowfish. Man can sing, so
Oh yeah.
But
I just unfortunate that he's a Gamecock fan.
Oh, it is. I've met him a couple times. He actually came to a bar named Clancy's. It was called Clancy's. It's no longer open. There's Magnolia Pub, and I remember them coming up after. They were a good college band. But they had not hit the big time. And remember, after we're sitting around having a beer with them and talking to them like the regular people, and then 6 months later, you're going down the road and hold my hands like number one on the charts, and they just like shot out. We used to see them before they got big, and then they got big, and I don't know how many times I saw them. But good band.
Yeah, he actually I read something that he donated an entire music studio to the football facilities or the sports facility in Columbia. Yeah. And I guess the coaches had to actually put a curfew on it because athletes were just staying in the studio all night making music. So
maybe we can do an exorcism and bring them over to our side.
Well, I don't know if that'll.
It'd be great to have him on the show, but I ain't gonna talk about Clemson.
Oh yeah. Well, you know the rules. No Gamecocks in I Bleed Orange.
No. There's a high security. It's like Fort Knox to get in here. They try.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll go ahead and Chuck Wright, the sheriff of Spartanburg, been the sheriff over there forever. He tried to get in. I love the guy. Great dude, man. And he keeps getting elected. He's done a lot for Spartanburg County as far as the sheriff, and he came in. I had to decline it. I mean,
Be like,
you're the
I like
president
you,
of the
but
state.
unfortunately, this is a Clemson fan page only.
Well, president, not the president we got now, but President of the United States comes in, he's not a Clemson fan. I don't know. Do we let him in? There's a small
Yeah.
fee.
Yeah.
President,
Yeah.
President Trump, there's a small fee.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
Lord.
Oh, it would be kind of funny though to see that, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But that would be kind of funny.
I don't know.
Yeah, we got to find us a big time musician that is a Clemson fan.
I mean,
and then
he
we'll
was.
have them in.
Yeah. I mean, Marshall Tucker's out of Spartanburg. I know a couple of those guys, but I think they're Carolina fans, man. To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure they are.
I mean, would I talk to Darius Rucker on this show? Yeah, I absolutely would. But I just think it would be kind of funny.
What are we going to talk about? Music and Gamecocks? How we beat them?
Like the Gamecocks. Like
of the time
we got to get him. We got to get him off the Gamecocks. Which
That's
I know
an exorcism. I've come up with a plan. It's going to cost you some money. You got to meet and you got to form an exorcism.
I have exorcised the demons.
Get the demons out of you in the name of Jesus.
Yeah,
holy
exactly.
water on you.
Yeah,
but no, it's all good. I mean, if everybody was a Clemson fan, I mean, what would be the point? You got to have competition. You got to have the opposing team. It makes it interesting.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know what the rules are on NCAA rules, but be nice if we could get one of the up and coming recruits, on and kind of talk to them and see.
Well, Levon, Kirkland isn't he the NIL guy? And then we got Taj as one of the recruiters.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ask about that. Yeah, just as far as I Bleed Orange, we started out on our Facebook group, which is what we streamed this through before we stream it through all the other groups. Started out 21.9 at the Duke game, and we're at 33. It's phenomenal growth. I've always thought big, always think outside the box. I was sitting in a football game about a year ago or a year and a half ago, and looking at the stadium. You got 88,000 people in that stadium that paid money to go to that game, and you got to realize that's probably not even a fifth of the Clemson fan base because a lot of them are watching on TV. Some of them are, in Texas or Ohio because job, and they're not even at the game. They're watching on TV. So I'm thinking if you can get 88,000 people in a football season, why don't I get 88,000 people strong and I'll bleed orange?
Yeah.
And
love it.
I mean, we seem to be the fastest growing Clemson group. I believe we're the largest group. I think there's a page larger than us, but that's a lot different. The page is different. So anyways, it's growing. I mean, we had just 3,000 people came in last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We had 30 and now we're at 33. I looked at it this morning.
Yeah. So, love it.
Way to get the name out.
Love it.
We're the Rolling Stones of Clemson football. We're the outside the box. We are the Ric Flair of Tiger football.
Yeah.
We're excited about this thing. We're not boring. One thing we
Rolex wearing, limousine riding.
We like to have fun. We like to joke around. We're not.
Oh yeah.
We like statistics and all. We're going to be sitting there like, well, so and so had 12.2 yards of carry in 1972. He had 4 yards. We like to get in, talk about all kind of stuff and bring it in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Have a little bit of fun while we're doing it. You only live once.
Exactly. And
right.
So let me see what the baseball's at right now. Let's see what they're doing.
Now, who are we playing again? Say Kansas?
Kansas State.
I can't believe they're playing. I mean, I was just down at Clemson, but I mean, it had been pouring down raining, but it's been misting and wet and raining all day long. But I guess
it is bottom of the 8, and Clemson's on top, 7-2.
All right, ranked 10th in the nation, 7-2. It's looking good.
Yep.
Looking good. Keep it up.
Kansas State. Kansas State's not a small school either. Now I don't know how the baseball is, but they're not a small school, so that's a Power 5 school.
Yeah, good football team too. Yeah, usually. Decent.
I don't know if Kansas State has ever come to Clemson before, but but yeah, I'm trying to see number 4 Florida, who won or was it LSU that won it all last year? LSU and Florida, I know, ended up being in the final 2, and I think
You know who
LSU.
number one is? Villanova's usually got a good team.
Florida's number
Tennessee's got a
4.
Georgia is?
Florida is number 4. Clemson's 10. LSU's number 3.
LSU's
Texas
always
A&M is 7.
7.
Auburn's 19. This is just only the ones that are playing right now that I can see. So Virginia's number 3. South Carolina was number 21. So South Carolina was actually ranked when we played them. So Coastal Carolina is in there at 18. Alabama at 15. Tennessee at 8.
Coastal's 19, 18. Well, look,
Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina. Where'd it go? Coastal Carolina is 18. Tennessee's 8. Duke is at number 12. East Carolina's in there at number 11.
Carolina's 11.
Eastern Carolina.
What, Gamecocks?
East Carolina. Now South Carolina Gamecocks, they were 21. So
okay, 21. Well, they're
let
probably
me
higher
pull up
before we
the
meet
full
them.
ranking for some reason.
Well, Coastal Carolina is interesting because we know what happened. What was that? 15 or 16? 16, I think it was. And hey, they won the whole thing. Cinderella team.
Yeah.
Little old Conway, not far from Myrtle Beach.
Oh, here we go. Now I got the rank. Wake Forest is at number 1 in the nation.
Wake Forest.
Yeah.
You think that's not basketball? We play them Saturday.
Right. So Wake Forest, Arkansas, LSU, Florida, TCU, Oregon State, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Clemson, and then that's the top 10. And then you got East Carolina, Duke, Virginia, North Carolina State, Alabama, North Carolina. I mean, a lot of ACC schools in the top 25 for baseball. So that's good to see. And I've never heard of UC Santa Barbara before, but they're in the top 25. Texas, UC Irvine, Campbell, South Carolina, Dallas Baptist University, Auburn, Coastal Carolina, Texas Tech, North Carolina. That's the bottom 16 right there. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, baseball is looking good, especially with the ACC schools. I love to see that. So, and like I said, I got my baseball jersey on tonight, supporting the team.
Yeah,
couldn't be there in person, but I'm in there in spirit.
I got you. I'm probably about 6 miles from the baseball stadium right here. Yeah. Let's look. College basketball. You got Houston, number 1. 26-3. You got Connecticut, number 2. Purdue, Tennessee. They're tough. They're number 4. Arizona, Iowa State, 6. UNC 7. Marquette 8. Duke 9. Creighton 10. Baylor 11. Illinois, Auburn, Kentucky, Kansas. Alabama 16. We beat Alabama. They're 16. South Carolina 17. We beat South Carolina and Alabama. Clemson's not showing in the top 25. That came out today, but I'm thinking we're going to be in the top 25 when the next polls come out. We were flirting right around there, but I mean, we beat several of those teams. We've beaten 4 of the teams just because we played them. We beat 3. North Carolina, we beat Alabama, and we beat South Carolina, all in the top 20. Houston's always strong.
Yep.
And Connecticut, I mean, those teams that never really have a football team got a basketball team.
Yeah. And then if you jump over to the softball, Texas is number 1.
In women or men?
Yeah. Texas and Oklahoma, number 1, number 2. Which, I mean, Oklahoma is always, they're like the Notre Dame of football. They'll always have a rank just because of their name.
Notre Dame, Ohio State in football. They go 0-11. They're going to be ranked next season.
But yeah, softball is Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, Duke, Washington, Georgia, Oklahoma State, Stanford, Tennessee, Alabama, Clemson. That's the top 11. Then you got Missouri, Florida, Baylor, Virginia Tech, Florida State, California, UCLA, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Kentucky, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Arizona, and Auburn. But, that's good to see. You got women's softball and baseball. South Carolina's in the top 25. Clemson's baseball and softball listed in the top 25. So, kudos to the state of South Carolina on this. So,
yeah.
And you had Coastal Carolina that was in there for baseball. So, South Carolina's putting out some good teams.
Yeah, we are. And you got Coastal, in baseball. Yeah. Coastal every once in a while makes a run in football.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. I Believe Orange actually made their hand sanitizer. We actually did it under the Coastal name. And I just never could say I know it's a bird. It's Coastal. How do you pronounce their names?
Which one?
But we actually we had I Believe Orange hand sanitizers, and a guy that's in I Believe Orange knew some people down there in the marketed, the purchasing part of, and we actually went in and we bottled about 5,800 bottles of hand sanitizer, sent it down to 2020 was crazy. We also did for the Citadel too.
Yeah, I agree. That was a year.
Yeah.
A year I like to try and forget.
Huh?
A year I'd like to try and forget.
Yeah, really. And it's been about 4 years ago to the date that we really started to hear all that stuff.
Pretty much.
All right.
But, so Clemson sports looking good. Basketball starting to, I think, find their stride. Baseball's in there. Softball's in there. I actually got to find some stats on golf. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the golf team's doing. So see how they're doing. See if they got anything big coming up. You don't see a lot of advertisements on the college golf, unfortunately. So, but this is the time they're all getting ramped up. So,
golf's a hard sport known to man. I love to play it. I didn't start playing in about 2000. I used to watch on TV. I got out there and started playing. I'm like, my God, it's not as easy as it looks. It's addictive once you get out there. You always want to play again. But I'm a big Masters guy. I don't watch a lot of golf, but I will watch every day of the Masters.
Yeah. Masters is coming in actually really soon. Masters is coming up really soon. Actually, if you got Netflix, the Full Swing season 2 just came out.
Okay.
So, I actually watched an episode of that this morning.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do something like what Wayne and them are doing in a year or two. Have a fundraiser and have a golf tournament.
Definitely count me in on the golf team for the orange and white.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple. We just need about 4 or 5 of it. All right.
I'm a good middle guy. The drives I won't probably contribute too much, but I'm there for the middle part of the game.
That's the part I've been working on. I played putt-putt growing up, started playing golf. I could drive every once in a while when I first started playing. I'd shank it or whatever. But it's that the hardest shot to me in golf is when you're like 25 yards out from the hole and you're trying to chip it up in there. And, you see it on the TV and the thing goes up and it looks so easy and the ball comes down and stops or rolls backwards. Yeah. And I, every once in a while I get it like near the thing and it keep on rolling and rolling and hit a little old roll. Next thing you know, it's rolling down the woods down there. And that's the part I've been working on.
Yeah.
Already got you got the sand sitting there and you miss it by about an inch or so and it goes into the sand trap. So that's the most frustrating part.
I'm usually good with the second to third shots, it's getting as close to the green or on the green. I can chip pretty well, putt pretty good. So,
yeah, my first and second, it's a shot to get it on the green. My tough one. That's what I've been working on.
If somebody can put me in a good position with a drive, I'm usually okay with the rest.
All right. Is that how they're playing, like best ball, or I don't know?
I think that's what he was saying. I can't remember now, but yeah, I think that's what he said. So. But either way, I just want to go and get the experience of being at the orange and white event and have fun with it.
Yeah, they're doing they're raising money for a lot of good causes. They have, I haven't been, but I've seen it online and social media and stuff they post. And they have a big dinner and they have a dance and they have all kind of stuff going on. So it ought to be interesting. And they have a lot of Clemson. I don't know if you want to call it royalty or whatever. A lot of the guys that played in the NFL, NBA, and of course you have Danny Ford there. Something about going back over to Dabo's place. Didn't he say that?
Yeah. I don't know who all will be allowed for that, but I definitely would love to to attend that and have that opportunity.
I'd
So
like to smoke a cigar with Dabo in the backyard. I'm gonna be nice
yeah, I
not
love
smoking in
it.
his house, but
Yeah, I
I
love
know.
it.
Yeah.
There we go. We need some I Bleed Orange
So,
cigars.
huh?
We need some I Bleed
Do
Orange
what?
cigars. Did
That's
you hear
what
me?
we need to do. Yeah.
Some I Bleed Orange cigars?
Losing you. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, it's funny you just mentioned I Bleed Orange cigar.
Yeah, I was saying
I
that's
had a
what we need.
conversation
We need
today.
some I Bleed Orange cigars.
Well, there's a company, there's Cameroon Cigar Bar and Humidor in downtown Greer, and he gave me a price of what he would like do my cigars for me. I got to put a feeler out there. I mean, he wouldn't let me come in like a little investment. It's kind of a bigger one. But I was talking to a guy. I don't know if you've gone to some of these convenience stores, and they have humidors in there.
Yeah.
You ever been over there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Losing you.
No, you're there.
There you are. So I talked to a guy. I actually got his card today, and so we're talking about it. You hear me? Internet.
Yeah,
internet.
I got you. No, I got you. I hear you all day. Yeah, you're there. But yeah, that sounds good. I think that'd be a good idea right there. So I said that'll be a good idea. I think that's a great idea. Get some cigars on there.
Well, technically, you can't. You know, we got I Bleed Orange beer. You cannot ship alcohol. There's just like all kind of legal stuff there. And,
oh yeah, unfortunately,
so when that came out, I mean, we would have made a fortune if we could like ship it out. But you can. It's a gray area with the tobacco, but as long as you say it's a gift or something, you can probably put it on there. But ship it out and sell a lot of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Mostly men smoke cigars, but it would be a good cigar.
Yeah.
And so it had the I Bleed Orange logo on it. No cheap cigar.
I'm excited about next week, so can't wait.
Yeah, Jerry, the catch.
So
the catch. You're on the SO Club. They got them halfway across the wall like that.
Nice.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. What was that, 77, 78? We're in the den, my mom and dad. And I remember watching that. And we're all pacing, you know. And Steve Fuller actually was the quarterback. He lived about 4 or 5 houses down from where I grew up. He's from Spartanburg. He used to cut his grass when he was actually playing for the Chiefs and went pro and has a little grass cutting business. But we were all just standing around. We can sit down and mom, dad, everybody just did a high five in the middle of the den. And that catch was just a catch you'll never forget.
Yeah.
I mean, he fully extended himself like that. But have you been to that SO Club?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, they've got a picture on the wall. He's just like that.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's great. I love it.
So that's the catch, and that's the catch at Clemson for college, and then you got the catch at the 49ers and Dwight Clark against my Cowboys. I still got a resentment about that, but
well, there's also was it the miracle catch or something like that with the Steelers, where the guy he catches
Franco Harris
hit the ground.
Yeah, that was like the #1 miracle catch of all time because that game was over with. And Jack Tatum, you remember him from the Raiders? It hit some other dude. The ball popped off. Terry Bradshaw was quarterback, and you couldn't see. It was 1970s, but he reached down there and caught it and ran it in. The game over with. Unbelievable. Yep. I always love stuff like that. Games, as long as it's not against my team, there's wild endings. I'll tell you another wild one, and we're getting kind of off the subject, but was one you'll never forget, probably may not be duplicated again, was when Alabama was trying to win an Iron Bowl against Auburn. And I think it was tied. It was tied, I believe. And they're trying to kick a 60-yard field goal with 1 second left. The guy's sitting back there. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that game.
They played in Auburn. It was, I think, 2010. No,
2000 years ago. Yeah, it was
13.
I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was sooner than that. But it was just unbelievable. Alabama goes for that kick, misses the kick, guy catches it, but everybody thought, they started walking off the field,
running on
down the sidelines for a touchdown to win the game.
And my saying's always ABB, anybody but Bama. So I was jumping all over the place. I was
absolutely
you love to see stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So no matter what happens to that guy, whether he went pro or not, I can't remember. But his grandkid's gonna be sitting in his lap one day and he'll be showing that to him. So, that's you, Grandpa? Yeah, that's me.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well, let's wrap it
let's
up.
see. Let's see. Did baseball finish it up yet? Let's see. Get to the scores real quick.
I'm
Fresh.
getting a lot of comments tonight.
8-3, top of the ninth.
8-3. Yeah, that's
8-3, top of the ninth. Clemson's still on top. Pretty safe to say, I think Clemson's going to win this game against Kansas State. But I hope I didn't jinx it. I mean, knock on wood. Hope I didn't jinx that. But top of the ninth, I think we got a shot here. Beat Kansas State, and then move on down. Let's see. Do they have any other game coming up this week? They play UNC Greensboro on Friday night, 4:00. That should be a pretty decent game for Clemson. So that's Friday night. So
okay,
yeah,
cool.
All right, let's. Can't wait for next week. Like I said, join us for the spring game come April 6th. I think the game time is 1:00. Is that correct?
Yeah, 1:00, April 6th.
All right.
About a month. Well, about a month. Be here before you know it.
All right. That's it for the night, guys.
Next time. All right. All right, Oblate Orange Nation. We'll talk to you.